This is Gary, and Gary has a very interesting ability. He can send notifications directly to my devices, so he can tell me the moisture levels, how he's feeling, basically a funny prompt, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how I built them, assembled them, and how you can probably make better versions of this as well. But why did I build them? Well, for one, I'm a very forgetful person, and I don't think reminders are gonna work if they're just on my phone, because I will usually swipe them away. But if I get tricked into thinking it's an actual message coming from a Discord channel, I might have the motivation to actually read it, and get some real information on how my plant is doing. So here's how I built it. I wanted to make this build as easy as it possibly could be, so I built the structure in 3 main sections: the faceplate, the matrix holder, and the base. The faceplate needed to be strong and thin to let as much light out as possible, and the matrix holder was going to hold the 4 LED matrices. I chose to use screws to hold that in because I wanted to avoid glue as much as possible. The baseplate was just going to act as a bottom cover as well as a stand. The 4 LED matrix set was connected in a chain configuration but set up as a cube. This way the power only came from the beginning of the chain and passed through to the other LEDs to make things a bit easier. For this project, I used an old PCB I had laying around from a previous project. I also used an ESP32C3 as the brain of this project. That's mostly because I didn't need as many pins as the other ESP32s provide. I then added the moisture sensor to be able to start calculating the different states and responses that the plant was going to have. The next thing I did was to fit the LED matrix into the front plate, and then extended all the cables so that they can get to any potted plant that's going to be placed on the top. I then glued down the main PCB board and then connected all the cables. Making sure that all the wiring was in fact correctly plugged in. So how does it work? Well, once the ESP32 is flashed with the firmware, it looks for a soil moisture sensor, and each time while it's active, it constantly checks what the soil moisture level is. And using that data, it then checks which category it falls into: critical, sassy, or flooded. Depending on these contexts, it will give you a different set of messages. For ease of use, I also created a web UI that lets you input an upper and lower limit for what is considered a flood or a drought for your specific plant. There's also an LED controller so that the LEDs are not constantly on and you can just flip it on and off whenever you like to. To also make the Discord integration as easy as possible, I made it as a text input on the web UI. That way you can just copy your integration string straight from Discord, paste it into that little section, and then it starts sending messages to your Discord channel. I personally think this plant might never die of thirst.